Hi. All right, so this is a project that comes from maintaining cameras in the Bookcliff area. So there's a series of game cameras that are used to track horses. That's the wild horse range there. And they're actually quite hard to keep maintained because of the adjustments of battery packs. And so all I have right here, and I'll bring this a little closer to the camera, this is the back plane of the cage that holds the game camera. So these are near water sources, and so horses and bears and things like that come around, and so these cameras get a significant amount of abuse just because they're big animals that are nearby, and they'll use the trees as scratching posts and things like that, and they'll beat these up. So they have to really be in these sorts of protected cases. So the game cameras themselves have a battery pack, and that battery pack is something that needs to be changed. And in order to get it, you have to open this cage up. There's a front panel, and the camera fits in here. And to do that, you have to unstrap everything. This all comes loose, which is a bit of a lot of work to readjust and point back to the proper locations depending on where the cameras are at. So a fix for those kinds of cameras is on the base in here. If we cut out a rectangular section down in here, then that camera change the batteries on, because there's a release on the inside that releases the batteries, and instead of just slamming against the bottom of the case, they'll pop out through this bottom part of the cage, and you can replace them. So the cage still protects the camera and the batteries, because you have to get inside to open up the pack. But instead of having to take this all apart to let the batteries out, they just drop out of the bottom, and you can replace them. So I've done this by hand with a Dremel, and it's a pain in the neck, and also looks very third world by the time the hole's made. So basically, as an engineering project, it'd be nice to have a little jig or maybe just a CNC routine that would let us mount and cut these in a nice way to get a nice pattern, and I can describe that more carefully, to just cut this section out, so we can modify all the camera cases that need that modification, and get something that looks a little more professional rather than hobby built out of the system. So the basic project is to make a jig or just a procedure that would cut this out, either using one of the CNC mills in the engineering department or some other process that ends up making a clean cut out of this. That's it. Thanks.